Mr. Garrison, seconded by Mr. Julian, moves for leave to introduce a bill entitled An Act to Amend the Employment Equity Act. This motion is deemed adopted. The Honourable Member for Esquimalt, Saanich, Sooke.
Very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to introduce a private member's bill entitled An Act to Amend the Employment Equity Act. The Employment Equity Act was designed to ensure that we achieve equality in employment in the federal public service and for large employers in the private sector which come under federal jurisdiction. The fact is that the workforce in these areas still fails to represent the diversity of the Canadian population. As it stands, the Employment Equity Act applies to only 4 groups: women, Aboriginal people, persons with disabilities, and visible minorities. Members of my community, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Canadians, are left out of the Act. This private member's bill would make sure we are counted in. Once again, I would like to thank the Public Service Alliance of Canada for their strong advocacy on this issue, and in particular Paul Jones of the Union of National Defence Employees in my riding. We know that SOGI Canadians remain underrepresented at all levels of employment, and that transgender Canadians suffer particularly high levels of unemployment and underemployment. Adding transgender Canadians to the Employment Equity Act would force employers to address this fact and come up with concrete plans to remove the barriers to equal employment for all. Thank you.
Mr. Garrison, seconded by Mr. Julian, moves that the bill be now read a first time and be printed. This motion is deemed adopted.
First reading of this bill, première lecture de ce projet de loi.
And shall this bill be read a second time? At the next sitting of the House.